On the day the impoverished student transferred schools, my childhood friend and I saw the bullet comments. Lin Shusher isn't actually an impoverished student, she's the illegitimate daughter of the richest man, who was left behind. Later, she'll be recognized by the richest man and inherit the family fortune. Lin Shusher is just pretending to be an impoverished student, after meeting a lover who doesn't mind her poverty and treats her sincerely. She'll eventually bring him back to the wealthy family to enjoy a life of luxury. My childhood friend was so excited that he immediately wanted to pursue the impoverished student, but I stopped him. The relationships in wealthy families are intricate and complex, especially for an illegitimate daughter raised in secret and hidden from the world. Be careful not to bring trouble upon yourself. My childhood sweetheart gave up because of this. Later, I learned that the impoverished student was taken home by the wealthiest person and inherited the family fortune with her boyfriend, who had dyed blonde hair. He didn't care at all and even took the initiative to propose to me. On the day of the wedding, my childhood sweetheart pushed me down the stairs. If it weren't for you, I would be the one going home with Lin Shusher to inherit the family fortune. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day the scholarship student transferred to our school. 1. Lin Shusher is no scholarship student, she's the illegitimate daughter of the wealthiest man, who will later be recognized and inherit the family fortune. Lin Shusher is just pretending to be a poor student, after meeting a lover who doesn't mind her poverty and treats her sincerely. They will eventually return to a wealthy family together to enjoy a life of luxury. The exact same barrage of comments from my previous life appeared before my eyes. Jiang Muyu naturally saw it too. After school, just like in my previous life, Jiang Muyu excitedly told me everything about being able to see the barrage of comments. He even said he was going to pursue Lin Shusher, hoping to marry into a wealthy family soon and enjoy a life of ease. In my previous life, when I heard this, I advised him to think carefully. The relationships in wealthy families are complex, especially when it comes to a hidden illegitimate daughter raised outside the family. You should be careful not to bring trouble upon yourself. Jiang Muyu thought I made sense, so he gave up. Later, I learned that the impoverished student was taken home by the wealthiest person and inherited the family fortune with her boyfriend. Jiang Muyu showed no signs of anything unusual and even proposed to me, but on the day of the wedding, Jiang Muyu pushed me down the stairs. If it weren't for you, I would have gone home with Lin Shusher to inherit the family fortune. The intense pain continues to spread through my body. Jiang Muyu's voice continues. This is the wealthiest person. Even as an illegitimate child, you'll get a significant share of the fortune. Just wait for my good news. I withdraw the memories from my past life and smile at him gently. All right. I returned to the classroom and saw Jiang Muyu helping Lin Shusher move her desk. Upon closer inspection, I noticed that my desk had been moved to the very back. When he saw me, Jiang Muyu first placed Lin Shusher's desk neatly next to his own, then gave her a gentle smile and said, "All right, from now on, we'll be desk mates. If you need any help, just let me know. Don't hesitate to ask." 2. Lin Shusher looked at Jiang Muyu with surprise and gratitude, saying sincerely, "Thank you, classmate." Jiang Muyu's gentle smile deepened on his face. I had never seen him smile like that before. No need to be so polite, we're all classmates, and it's only right to help each other, and you don't have to call me classmate either. From now on, just call me Muyu. Lin Shusher's eyes curved into crescents as she nodded repeatedly. Okay. Only then did Jiang Muyu come over to me. When his back was turned to everyone else, he winked at me before continuing. Shusher just transferred here, so she's still unfamiliar with our school and needs some help. And the pace at her previous school is probably different from ours. Sitting in the back, she might have trouble hearing the teacher clearly, but you're different. You're a good student, so even if you sit in the back, you can keep up. That's why I moved your desk to the back. Anyway, the teacher will move you back to the front next time we change seats. I didn't want to sit next to Jiang Muyu anymore, but since he moved my desk to the back without my permission, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. If you're worried she won't keep up, you could move to the back yourself and explain things to her. You didn't have to move my desk, did you? Jiang Muyu was taken aback for a moment, his face showing a hint of displeasure. He glanced back at Lin Shusher, then leaned in and whispered in my ear, "Give me some face, Xingxing, don't you remember I'm trying to win her over?" Suddenly, the barrage started criticizing Jiang Muyu. Is Jiang Muyu out of his mind? Why should Song Xingjin be sacrificed just because you're trying to win someone over? Give him some face. How much face does he even have? So disappointing. Jiang Muyu must have seen the comments, his face slightly flushed. I didn't speak to him again, walking past him toward the back. I'll just sit in the back for now, which is still better than being Jiang Muyu's desk mate. Jiang Muyu glanced back at me once more before returning to his seat and continuing his conversation with Lin Shusher. The boys in the back were whispering, saying that Jiang Muyu was clearly smitten. 3. My new desk mate leaned over and asked me, "Hey, Song, top student, what's going on between you and Muyu? Didn't he used to like you?" I don't blame him for asking such a question. Before Lin Shusher came, Jiang Muyu was indeed different to me than to others. He was handsome, and although his family wasn't extremely wealthy, they were still quite well off. Additionally, his family, whether it was his parents or his grandparents, treated him like the apple of their eye, which led him to believe from a young age that he was a favored child of heaven, fostering a personality that loved to show off. His persona at school was that of being aloof and cold, not talking to girls. Whenever a girl confessed to him or gave him a love letter, he would act icy and reject them outright. He even deliberately got close to me to make those girls back off. At first, I didn't let him take advantage of me, and he responded with ambiguous words. "How do you know I'm using you?" All the students in the school knew that the campus heartthrob Jiang Muyu was only close to one girl, and that was me. When I first fell in love, I also believed that I was someone special to Jiang Muyu, so in my previous life, when he told me he wanted to pursue Lin Shusher, I was still quite disappointed, but I still wholeheartedly considered him. Analyzing the pros and cons for him, later, he proposed to me, and I was truly happy. I planned to tell him on our wedding night that I liked him. What I got in return was his hatred for me. Pushing me down the stairs, I took out the test paper for the first class and said indifferently, "He doesn't like me, we're just ordinary friends," but no one believed it, thinking it was a signal that I was unilaterally cutting ties with Jiang Muyu because he had shifted his affections. 4. Jiang Muyu thoughtfully explained the progress of each subject teacher to Lin Shusher and even told her that they could share a test paper during the teacher's lecture. Soon after, the homeroom teacher walked in. After a long while, the homeroom teacher finally noticed that I had moved to the back to sit, while Lin Shusher had taken my original seat. "What's going on with these seats?" the homeroom teacher asked. Jiang Muyu glanced back at me, as if wanting me to answer the teacher's question. Seeing that I didn't speak, he stood up to explain, "Teacher, Lin Shusher just transferred here, and I was worried she might fall behind the class's progress if she sat in the back. So, Song Xingjin is a good student, and it doesn't matter where she sits. If you're worried that the new student can't keep up, then let Song Xingjin come back, and you can sit in the back. Your own academic performance is a mess, and you're trying to explain problems to others," the teacher called out to me. Song Xingjin, just switch seats with Jiang Muyu. Jiang Muyu still wanted to argue, but my good friend spoke up. "The teacher is right. If you can't even manage your own studies, how can you help others?" Jiang Muyu looked back at me again, gesturing with his eyes for me to say something. I simply refused to look at him. Jiang Muyu moved the desk with a huff, making a thumping sound. He placed the desk at the very front first, then turned to urge me, "What are you still standing there for? The teacher said you should move it back, so just move it back." The boy next to me stood up. "Song Xingjin, step aside and wait, I'll help you move it." I gave him a slight smile. "Thank you, I can manage," but as soon as I stepped out, the boy still lifted my desk and helped me move it to the front. I carried my backpack and chair over, then thanked the boy again. Jiang Muyu then moved the desk to the very back. I had just taken my seat when Lin Shusher stood up. 5. Teacher, I still want to sit with Jiang Muyu, I'll move to the back. Without waiting for the teacher's response, she lowered her head and said to me, "Classmate, could you move aside? The barrage starts cursing again. Are these two sick, moving seats back and forth? So annoying. Why don't you two go sit together on the playground outside? Stop disturbing others during morning self-study." I got up again and moved my desk forward a bit. Lin Shusher turned around and said to Jiang Muyu, "Can you help me move it over?" Jiang Muyu immediately stood up and said to the boy beside him, "You go sit in the front." The boy glanced at the teacher, pursing his lips in exasperation. "Then you need to move your desk to the front first, so I can move mine out." After another round of clattering noises, the seats were finally swapped. The homeroom teacher, who had remained silent until now, finally spoke up. "Let it be this time. But no more unauthorized seat changes in the future." After school in the evening, Jiang Muyu didn't come to walk home with me. Instead, he left with Lin Shusher. I quickly packed my bag and rushed out. Seeing my dad's car, tears instantly welled up in my eyes. "Dad." I rushed over and threw myself into his arms. My dad was startled. "What's wrong? Did someone bully you?" "Who? Tell me, and I'll teach them a lesson." I sniffled, shook my head, and finally pulled away from my dad's embrace. It's nothing, I just missed you so much. I missed my dad, and I missed my mom. The thought of the pain my parents went through after losing their child in my previous life made me feel extremely distressed, to the point where I could hardly breathe. In this lifetime, I will definitely protect myself well and never be separated from my parents again. Once in the car, I glanced at the barrage again. 6. Song Xingjin is quite pitiful. Jiang Muyu was so good to her before. It's hard for her not to be moved. That's right, Jiang Muyu is really something. To climb the ladder, he even abandoned the bond of childhood friendship. Men are so pragmatic. Actually, I can understand Jiang Muyu too, and he never explicitly stated that he likes Song Xingjin. For those who suspected earlier that Jiang Muyu was trying to climb the social ladder, how would he know Lin Shusher's true identity? So I suspect that Jiang Muyu can see the bullet comments anyway. I still feel sympathy for Song Xingjin. Little star, don't cry, you'll meet someone better in the future. Jiang Muyu isn't worthy of you. Although the barrage misunderstood the reason for my tears, I was still grateful that they were willing to comfort me. One particular comment caught my attention. I just ran back from Jiang Muyu's place, and he admitted it. He can indeed see the bullet comments. He even wants us to help him pursue Lin Shusher. I don't care, this guy is just too cringe. I'm going to check if Lin Shusher can see the bullet comments and warn her to stay away from Jiang Muyu. I think Lin Shusher really likes him, insisting on being his desk mate. Don't worry about her, the daughter of a mistress and a cheating scumbag. Why bother helping her? Reading this novel is so damn frustrating. I watched the lively barrage of comments all the way. Back home, I threw myself into my mom's arms again, and she had the same reaction. Seeing the worried looks on my parents' faces, my heart felt warm, and I smiled happily. Mom, Dad, I'm fine, really, I just suddenly had an epiphany today. From now on, I'll be your good daughter and stay with you for the rest of my life. My parents, the two of them chuckled in unison. Heh, my dad went to get me some late-night snacks. Don't just say nice things. If you could be a little less annoying to me and your mom, that would be better than anything. I giggled. In the past, I took advantage of my parents' doting and was indeed quite willful. I won't do it again in the future. It's still so cozy at Song Xingjin's place. I love the atmosphere at their house. 7. The next day, as I left the residential area and headed to the bus stop, it suddenly occurred to me that back when we were in school, Jiang Muyu would always wait for me outside the entrance of my apartment building. But today, I didn't see him. Perhaps I was lost in thought. And the barrage comments started sympathizing with me again. Is Song Xingjin thinking about Jiang Muyu again? Jiang Muyu is really something. Just because he's pursuing Lin Shusher doesn't mean he has to fall out with Song Xingjin. How could he leave first? Go ahead and leave. Jiang Muyu isn't that great anyway. It's not like he's some hot commodity. Get lost already. Song Xingjin, don't even think about it. There are plenty of good men in the world. What's most important for you right now is studying. I can't let the barrage know that I can see them. If someone leaks it to Jiang Muyu, I'll be in trouble. But I can't let the barrage down either, or they might not help me later. I took a deep breath, smiled, and even started humming a tune. So it seems Song Xingjin isn't sad after all. That's the spirit. It's just Jiang Muyu. Once you get into college, there will be plenty of good boys waiting for you. I was amused by this comment and couldn't help but let out a chuckle. This comment must have been posted by a teacher. Song Xingjin laughed. It seems she really doesn't mind at all. Song Xingjin, go for it. I crown you the female lead of this book, and I'm on your side. I don't know, but anyway, I was assigned to you. The barrage comments are really entertaining, but it's a shame I can't laugh openly right now or interact with them. I don't want Jiang Muyu to know that I can see the barrage comments. The bus is here. Upon arriving at the class, I immediately noticed Jiang Muyu and Lin Shusher leaning over their desks, whispering to each other. As they spoke, Lin Shusher suddenly laughed and playfully gave Jiang Muyu a light punch. It seemed that Jiang Muyu sensed my gaze, as he looked up and met my eyes. 8. I averted my gaze and took my seat. For me now, the most important thing is to focus on studying hard. In my previous life, I was indeed a top student, but after coming back, the knowledge from the books has become a bit rusty. Fortunately, I went through the books yesterday and found that much of the forgotten knowledge has come back to me. This is the brain of a top student. In the following period, I studied even harder than in my previous life. Jiang Muyu's mind was completely off studying, solely focused on how to win Lin Shusher's heart. A month passed like this, and the knowledge that had grown rusty resurfaced in my mind, restoring my grades to their proper level. That day, as I was tackling a physics exam paper, the barrage of comments before my eyes suddenly became lively. They kissed, they actually kissed. I looked up, the barrage is flooding the screen, saying that Jiang Muyu and Lin Shishir have confirmed their relationship, and the two kissed on the rooftop. He really managed to get the lost heiress of the Lin group. What kind of heiress is she? She's just an illegitimate child, the product of a cheating scumbag and a mistress. The legitimate heiress of the original family will never let her be recognized and return to the family. In the original text, Lin Shishir ended up going back after all. That was a trap set for her by the legitimate heiress. You know, the legitimate heiress wanted to bring together all those who had wronged her, to wipe them out together. Then, won't Jiang Muyu be in trouble too when the time comes? If he helps Lin Shishir fight for the family fortune, he definitely won't come to a good end either. The real heiress is cunning and ruthless, with plenty of tricks up her sleeve. As long as she can reclaim what's rightfully hers, she doesn't care if a few more lives are lost along the way. Honestly, which wealthy person doesn't have a few lives on their hands? What the barrage comments are saying is exactly what I worried about in my past life, which is why I advised Jiang Muyu not to get involved in this mess. This time around, I won't stop him. If he wants to drown in this muddy water, I'll let him. However, the barrage reminded me that I still have room to maneuver in this matter and can benefit from it. 9. Over the weekend, I went to the Lin group. The barrage was both shocked and curious, all wanting to know why I had come to the Lin group. I made an appointment with the front desk staff, hoping to meet Lin Wanjun, the CEO of the Lin group. The staff asked about my purpose, name, and the reason for meeting the president, then smiled and said to me, "We've already made an appointment for you. If the president agrees to see you, we'll notify you." I nodded, left the Lin group, and went home. The president of a large corporation isn't someone I can just meet at will, but that's okay, I still have time and can wait. As soon as I returned to the residential complex, I ran into Jiang Muyu. Jiang Muyu paused in his steps, fell silent for a moment, and then walked over. "Xingxing, there's something I think I should still tell you. After all, we're still friends, right?" I smiled, acting as usual. "Go ahead," Jiang Muyu said seriously. "Lin Shishir and I have officially started dating." "I know, and you told me before that you want to pursue Lin Shishir." "I know you'll succeed." Jiang Muyu lowered his head slightly. "I have indeed neglected you because of Shishir during this time, but I hope you understand. Now that I have a girlfriend, I should keep my distance from other women." At this point, he raised his head again. "Xingxing, actually, I know you like me, I've always known, but we can only be friends, so, please put away your feelings for me and stop ignoring me as if you're jealous. Trying to cover it up like this will only make Shishir misunderstand even more. Let's just continue being friends openly, chatting occasionally, and greeting each other when we meet. That feels more natural, doesn't it?" 10. Holding back the urge to roll my eyes, I laughed and said, "You've misunderstood. I'm not jealous, nor am I trying to cover anything up by ignoring you. I genuinely don't want to get involved in matters between you and your girlfriend. Besides, even though we're friends, I have other friends too. Having one more or one less doesn't make much of a difference. You should focus your energy on your girlfriend instead of worrying about how I treat you." Jiang Muyu, flushed with anger, said, "What you said is exactly what I truly wanted to say to you, Song Xingjin. From now on, we are no longer friends. Don't say another word to me in the future. I don't want my girlfriend to misunderstand." "Alright, I'm going to find my girlfriend now. We're going to spend the whole day on a date today. So I won't talk to you anymore. I'm leaving first." He walked past me and left. The barrage of comments started criticizing him again. "Such a confident yet mediocre man, truly off-putting. Song Xingjin hasn't liked you for a long time, yet you're still here deluding yourself." Jiang Muyu suddenly cursed out loud. "Shut up, it's so annoying." The barrage of comments grew even more vicious. "Confident yet mediocre man, Phoenix man. A gold digger is just a gold digger. What's with the Phoenix man? Get lost quickly, go find your illegitimate daughter." Song Xingjin is still smart, going after the legitimate heiress. I took a sharp breath, instinctively wanting to stop the barrage of comments from continuing. Jiang Muyu ran back. "Song Xingjin, did you go find Lin Wanjun?" Suppressing the unease in my heart, I asked as naturally as I could. "How did you know?" Jiang Muyu narrowed his eyes dangerously. "What do you want with Lin Wanjun?" "Song Xingjin, if you dare ruin my plans, I will never let you off." The murderous intent in his eyes was exactly the same as when he pushed me off the building in my previous life. 11. I couldn't help but shiver, but my voice remained as calm as ever. "Remember when I participated in that physics competition? The Lin Group was the sponsor, and they fully funded my prize money. I wanted to get to know Lin Wanjun back then. You can pursue Lin Shusher for your own future, but I can't recommend myself to Lin Wanjun for mine. Jiang Miyu finally breathed a sigh of relief. You'd better be as you say. With that, he turned and left, never to return. I breathed a sigh of relief. Oops, did I say too much? But I'm really curious about what Song Xingjin wants with Lin Wanjun. Didn't she say she wants to recommend herself to Lin Wanjun? A week later, I finally received a call from the Lin Group. Lin Wanjun wanted to see me. She is 33 this year and is famously known in the industry as a strong, capable woman, but regarding the term, strong woman, Lin Wanjun once publicly expressed that she hopes people can remove the word, woman, when discussing this topic in the future. Her goal is not to stand at the peak of women, but to stand at the peak of the world. She also hopes that all women can break free from the shackles of gender and reach the summit as soon as possible. This statement also gave me great encouragement, which is why I started researching entrepreneurship early in my previous life. Just no follow-up, because I was killed by Jiang Muyu. Lin Wanjun doesn't have the arrogance that ordinary people often carry, and she appears very approachable. But her powerful presence is also impossible to ignore. Song Xingjin, Miss Song, is that right? Our Lin Group previously sponsored a physics competition, and you were the champion. She smiled slightly and continued, you are great and outstanding, but, what is it you want to see me for? I handed over my phone with both hands. Mr. Lin, let's add each other on WeChat. 12. Lin Wanjun smiled. Miss Song, I don't give out my personal WeChat to just anyone. As for my work WeChat, you're only in your 3rd year of high school this year. The most important thing right now is to prepare for the college entrance exam. There's no business for us to discuss, is there? I gritted my teeth and went for it. At worst, I'll completely offend Jiang Muyu. Anyway, I'll be careful for the rest of my life, and since I've done Lin Wanjun such a huge favor, she should agree to send bodyguards to protect me. I leaned close to her ear and whispered about Lin Shusher's existence in a voice only the two of us could hear, adding that her father intended to have Lin Shusher recognized as part of the family. I told her again not to show it. A flicker of surprise flashed in Lin Wanjun's eyes as she gazed at me for a long moment before nodding. She took out her phone and added me on WeChat using her personal account. I continued to speak up, recommending myself to Lin Wanjun. Lin Wanjun curled the corner of her lips. I've seen your file. You're only a senior in high school this year, but your resume is already quite impressive. You truly are a talent, but right now, your most important task is the college entrance exam. I wish you success in getting into your ideal university. As for the rest, we can talk about it after the college entrance exams. After all, we've already added each other on WeChat. If you have anything else, feel free to reach out to me on WeChat anytime. Alright, I stood up, bid farewell to Lin Wanjun, and left. The barrage was filled with question marks. What exactly is Song Xingjin trying to do? Stop talking, or Jiang Muyu will see it again. He's not with Song Xingjin right now, so he probably can't see the comments over here. 13. The viewers don't know what I'm really up to, and Jiang Muyu knows even less. With that, I can finally relax and focus entirely on my studies. A few days later, I came across a news article online that was actually about the father-daughter relationship between Lin Wanjun and her father. Once I scrolled past one, the algorithm kept pushing similar articles to me non-stop. Marketing accounts also heavily promoted the bond between Lin Wanjun and her father Lin Zhongliang, as well as the love between Lin Zhongliang and his first wife. They even claimed that although his wife had passed away many years ago, Lin Zhongliang had never let go of her. All these years, he had remained single, staying faithful to her memory. The stock price of the Lin Group also began to rise. Lin Zhongliang initially showed little reaction, but as the benefits started to come in, he began taking Lin Wanjun to various events. The interactions between the father and daughter were magnified by the cameras, with everyone saying that Lin Zhongliang was a doting father and that Lin Wanjun would surely inherit the family business in the future. Lin Wanjun even brought her father to our school to give a lecture, speaking to the senior high school students about future trends and directions for choosing majors. After the lecture ended, as a student representative from the senior year, I went on stage to present flowers to Lin Zhongliang and Lin Wanjun. Lin Wanjun introduced me to her father. Dad, this is Song Xingjin. Our company once sponsored a physics competition, and she was the champion at that time, a physics champion. That's impressive. Lin Zhongliang extended his hand to me. Keep up the good work. Just by looking at your face, I can tell you'll achieve great things in the future. I shook Lin Zhongliang's hand. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Lin Wanjun seized the opportunity to say, "Dad, such a rare talent. We should seize the opportunity." Lin Zhongliang laughed heartily. "You decide. It's thoughtful of you to always be on the lookout for talent for the company." Lin Zhongliang looked at Lin Wanjun with a proud and gratified expression in his eyes. The three of us took a photo together. The photos were widely publicized by marketing accounts. 14. I, the top student at the university, also became popular. Many media outlets came to interview me. Facing the camera, I excitedly said how fortunate I was to have the opportunity to get close to President Lin and Chairman Lin. Chairman Lin truly loves his daughter. I used to think of him only as an outstanding entrepreneur, but now I understand that his most important role is being a father. Of course, I not only envy Ms. Lin for having such a great father, but I also admire her abilities. Everything she has achieved is well deserved. She is truly exceptional. After watching my interview, my dad couldn't help but comment with a hint of jealousy. "Yes, he's a good father. You admire him, don't you?" I wrapped my arms around my dad's neck from behind and said, "My dad is the best father in the world. I love you the most, Dad." My mother coughed lightly on the side. I immediately went over and hugged my mother again. "Mom, I love you the most too. Ha ha ha." Song Xingjin's parents are so interesting. To be honest, compared to Lin Zhongliang and Lin Wanjun, I prefer the atmosphere in Song Xingjin's home. I finally understand why Lin Wanjun would write those flattering articles portraying her father as a doting father to his daughter. On the other hand, she has also been keeping an eye on Lin Shusher's movements. Jiang Muyu has been waiting for the Lin family to come and take Lin Shusher back to acknowledge her roots, while at the same time sweetly falling in love with her. I learned from the bullet comments that the two have already been intimate. Half a year passed in the blink of an eye. The relationship between Jiang Muyu and Lin Shusher had completely stabilized. At this very moment, the Lin Group officially announced that Lin Wanjun would take over as the chairman of the board, with Lin Zhongliang transferring all of his shares under his name to Lin Wanjun. The stock price of the Lin Group surged significantly. Of course, the barrage doesn't care about any of this. They certainly won't bother looking into what Lin Wanjun does in private. Because Lin Wanjun isn't the main character, they've already started shipping Jiang Muyu and Lin Shusher as a couple. 15. Regardless of whether Jiang Muyu's approach to Lin Shusher has ulterior motives, they've been so sweet together these past 6 months. I also want to have such a sweet romance, then get dumped by a scumbag, be heartbroken for a month, lose my appetite, and after a month, I'd slim down to 80 pounds. Oh my, just thinking about it makes me feel wonderful. However, they hadn't been shipping them for long before this sweet romance was first broken by Lin Shusher. Damn, how could Lin Shusher cheat? That blonde guy is even more charming than Jiang Muyu. It's hard for Lin Shusher not to fall for him. Blondie, that blondie from the previous life. I never expected that in this life. Even though Lin Shusher is with Jiang Muyu, she could still get involved with that blondie. The bullet comments say Jiang Muyu has gone crazy and is going to catch them in the act. I rushed over immediately. I saw Jiang Muyu and that blonde guy fighting, while Lin Shusher hurriedly put on her clothes and ran over to stop them. "Stop it, you two, don't fight anymore." Jiang Muyu was no match for the blonde guy at all. He was knocked down by him in just a few moves. The blonde guy kicked him in the stomach and spat in his face. "Are you looking for death, you bastard? Get the hell out of here now." Lin Shusher burst into tears and told the blonde guy to leave first. The blonde guy grabbed her neck from behind, gave her a hard kiss on the lips, and left, telling Lin Shusher to come find him that night. Lin Shusher, still crying, helped Jiang Muyu up. Jiang Muyu pushed her away, then grabbed her shoulders and shook her forcefully. "Why are you doing this to me? Why, haven't I been good to you? Why are you messing around with another man, and coming to a place like this to do it, looking for excitement in the wild?" Lin Shusher cried in distress. "I'm sorry, Muyu. I didn't mean to, but, I don't know what I was thinking. I like you, and I like him too, you." Jiang Muyu suddenly raised his hand, but in the end, he lowered both hands. 16. He suddenly said, "Let me tell you the truth, Shusher. Actually, you are the illegitimate daughter of the chairman of the Lin Group, and you're about to be claimed by him." Lin Shusher's face was filled with confusion. "What are you talking about? How is that possible?" Jiang Muyu said seriously, "Everything I said is true. If you don't believe me, you can go back and ask your grandmother. I just found out myself. I originally wanted to give you a surprise, but you treated me like this." Lin Shusher narrowed her eyes slightly. "So, you've known for a long time that I'm not a poor student, haven't you? And you said you liked me?" Jiang Muyu immediately said, "I just found out too, my feelings for you are genuine. I think that blonde guy is the one with ulterior motives, Lin Shusher nodded. I'm indeed not from a poor family, I was just pretending to be poor to see who wouldn't mind my family background and truly like me for who I am. It's my fault, I shouldn't have kept this from you. Over the years, even though my grandmother didn't have a job, she always managed to come up with a lot of money whenever I needed it. After she passed away, she even left me a valuable inheritance, worth over $1 million. I now know where she got this money from. It turns out it was from my biological father. She excitedly grabbed Jiang Muyu's hand. Then let's go find my dad right now. Jiang Muyu pulled Lin Shusher back. Don't rush just yet. In wealthy families, inheritance is divided per person. If you go back alone, you won't get much, but if you're pregnant, it's a different story. Anyway, you've already passed your 18th birthday, so you're old enough to get pregnant. Lin Shusher hesitated, but... Stop with the buts. Do you want more money or not? Lin Shusher nodded. Jiang Muyu began his manipulation. Then promise me you won't have any more relations with that blonde guy. Your dad definitely won't let you have his child. I'm different. My family is much better than that blonde guy's, right? Lin Shusher nodded again. Okay, I promise you. 17. I captured this moment and sent it to Lin Wanjun. Before the second evening self-study session, I received a WeChat message from Lin Wanjun saying she was waiting for me outside after school. I told my dad not to pick me up today. After the evening self-study session, I was the first to rush out and get into Lin Wanjun's car. Lin Wanjun drove the car to a quiet place and stopped. That blonde guy was arranged by me to be by Lin Shusher's side. My dad already has plans to acknowledge Lin Shusher. I looked at her in surprise. Could it be that the blonde from the previous life was also arranged by Lin Wanjun? If the shareholders of the Lin Group found out that Lin Shusher was involved with the blonde, they would never allow Lin Zhongliang to acknowledge her. They would not tolerate even the slightest threat that could affect the Lin Group stock price. Lin Wanjun looked at me and said, my plans have been disrupted by that Jiang Muyu. I know you two used to be very close friends. But what about now? I shook my head. He's not my friend. We haven't been in touch much for the past 6 months. Lin Wanjun nodded. Then I know what to do. He ruined my plan, so I'll teach him a lesson. A few days later, the already scarce barrage of comments on my side suddenly became lively again. They're all saying that Jiang Muyu's legs were broken, and he'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Lin Shusher was also urgently sent abroad. As soon as I got home, my parents told me about Jiang Muyu's condition, and they said Jiang Muyu was going crazy wanting to see me. I went. Jiang Muyu flailed his upper body, trying to lunge at me. Song Xingjin, why did you send the recording to Lin Wanjun? She had someone break my legs. Are you happy now? It's your fault. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Jiang Muyu learned about my video from the barrage comments, however. The barrage didn't focus on Lin Wanjun. 18. What evidence do you have that it was Lin Wanjun who broke your leg? Wasn't it retaliation from that guy with the yellow hair you fought with? Jiang Muyu was stunned. The people who beat Jiang Muyu have been arrested, and they only said they didn't like Jiang Muyu, so they beat him. Those people have been detained, but at most they will only serve a few years in prison, once they are released. The money Lin Wanjun gave them will be enough for them to live a wealthy life for the rest of their days. A few days later, news suddenly spread online that Lin Zhongliang had died suddenly. The stock price of Lin's group experienced significant fluctuations. Finally, it was Lin Wanjun who stepped forward, saying that her father had indeed died from overwork, but there were also rumors that Lin Zhongliang died from a sudden stroke. Some comments speculated that Lin Wanjun arranged for her father to go abroad to reunite with Lin Shusher, while also arranging many women for Lin Zhongliang, and that he died from a sudden stroke. Lin Shusher also never made any news again. Oh my god, the wealthy families are truly terrifying. Lin Wanjun is indeed ruthless and cunning. Song Xingjin should keep less contact with Lin Wanjun. I just pretended not to know about these matters, as long as I keep Lin Wanjun's secrets. She won't do anything to me. A few months later, the people who beat Jiang Muyu were sentenced to more than 3 years in prison. I received a call from Lin Wanjun, and she invited me out for a meal. The day after tomorrow is your college entrance exam. Good luck. After the exam, come intern at Lin Corporation. I've saved a spot for you. I smiled and nodded. Thank you. Actually, I should be the one thanking you. You've helped me a lot, Lin Wanjun said, handing me a bank card. This is all I can give you. I gladly accepted it. As we were parting, Lin Wanjun suddenly called out to me again. She looked somewhat desolate. Xingjin, do you think I'll face retribution? 19. What do you mean? She lowered her gaze. To protect what is mine, I've done many things I shouldn't have, but our family's company was built by my mother and father together in the first place. I absolutely cannot let it fall into someone else's hands. There's no such thing as what should or shouldn't be done. What's yours is yours, and there's nothing wrong with protecting what belongs to you. It's those who try to take it from you who will face retribution, I said firmly. I truly believe that as well. Lin Wanjun laughed. Thank goodness you're here. The college entrance exams are over. I plan to relax for a couple of days, then go report to the Lin group. Jiang Muyu suddenly came to find me. Tears streamed down his face, filled with remorse. Xingxing, I'm sorry, I've been punished. If I could, would kneel before you forever, but I can't do it anymore. What did you say? Jiang Muyu looked at me with tears in his eyes. I've been reborn. I was utterly astonished. Jiang Muyu continued. After I pushed you off the building in my previous life, I went to find Lin Shusher. You were right, the struggles between the wealthy are too terrifying. I got myself involved and stood against Lin Wanjun. I was no match for her at all. She didn't lay a hand on me, she just found out I killed someone, sent me to prison, and I was sentenced to death. I finally understand what you said now, but it's too late, far too late. Jiang Muyu cried out in remorse. 20. If I had been reborn earlier, I would have listened to you in this life. I wouldn't have let myself fall into that pit of fire again, would have been healthy. I take a step back. I don't know what you're talking about, don't come looking for me again. Turning around, I see the barrage of comments scrolling rapidly before my eyes. What's going on? Is this still a rebirth story? Has Song Xingjin been reborn? Everything makes sense now. I was wondering why she seemed a bit sneaky before. That just means Jiang Muyu deserved it. Fortunately, the ending turned out well. I look up, the barrage has already started checking in to commemorate the moment. In the end, I never let them know that I could see them. Some secrets, whether they are about the bullet comments or about Lin Wanjun, I will keep to myself for the rest of my life. From then on, the bullet comments completely disappeared. Soon, my admission letter arrived. I was accepted into Tsinghua University. After graduating from university, I officially joined the Lin group, starting off in a managerial position. I also earned a lot of money, bought a new house for our family, and moved out of that neighborhood. On the day we moved, Jiang Muyu sat in a wheelchair, watching me from the side. After being reborn, I thought about killing him, but seeing him like this now, my obsession just vanished. The moving company had finished moving all our things. My parents got into my car and went with me to the new house. In the rearview mirror, Jiang Muyu was still standing there, motionless. His figure grew smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. Soon, he was out of sight. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. As the summer vacation was about to end, I asked my daughter to finish the remaining summer homework, but she used it to threaten me. If you want me to do the homework, immediately transfer 50,000 yuan to my uncle, and bring my grandparents and uncle's family to live with us. Otherwise, don't expect me to write a single word. I glanced at my husband, who was smirking beside me, and said calmly, let's get a divorce. The child goes with you. 1. Today is the last week of summer vacation, and the teacher is urging parents in the group chat to check their children's homework. To coax my daughter into doing her homework, I got up early and went to the supermarket to buy her favorite seafood, fruit, and ice cream. My daughter sat at the dining table, eating while asking sarcastically, TSK, Mom, these must have cost a lot, right? I thought she was just in a bad mood and didn't want to do her homework, so I didn't pay much attention. As I put the things in the fridge, I said, it cost over 400 yuan, all your favorites, finish them and then do your homework properly. Okay, my daughter's mocking voice followed, you've got money now, don't you? You can just buy over 400 yuan worth of stuff to satisfy your cravings. But when it comes to lending uncles some money for my cousin's treatment, you won't spare a single penny. You're so selfish and cruel. How could I have a mother like you? My heart sank into an icy abyss. I refused to support my brother and his family without any limits. So how does that make me selfish and cruel? They call it a loan, but have they ever paid back even a single cent of all the money they've borrowed? The smile on my face gradually faded. My daughter turned a blind eye and, with irritation, threw the durian she had only taken one bite of into the trash can, continuing her tirade. My cousin is suffering from illness at home without money, and you're letting me live a life of luxury here, eating well and drinking well. Are you trying to make me suffer from a guilty conscience every day, never finding peace? I was nearly infuriated to the point of fainting by her words. Was it wrong for me to spoil her, love her, and protect her? What does your cousin's suffering from illness at home have to do with me? Did I cause his premature birth? Did I make him unable to afford treatment? It's his parents who are lazy and idle, indulging in eating, drinking, whoring, and gambling, and they only borrow without ever repaying. My husband heard the commotion and rushed out, shielding our daughter behind him as if I were some kind of monster. He frowned slightly, his tone tinged with reproach. Honey, my brother and sister-in-law are no good, they're terrible people, but what has that child done wrong? Why can't you be kind and lend them a hand? Do you have to push things to the point where I break ties with my family and our home falls apart before you're satisfied? This is my husband. I suddenly laughed, and as I laughed, I began to cry, as if something was blocking my chest, sour and painful. How did he manage to say these words? Family ruined and lives lost. Who in your family died? It was you who ruined my family, caused my twin babies to die in the womb, left me infertile for life after giving birth to Sue Anning, and now you're making me drift apart from her. Besides, the money was earned by me, and I can spend it however I want. What business is it of yours? Even if I give it to a stray dog on the street, I won't lend it to them. So what? Speaking of twins, that is a pain I never want to mention. At that time, I was 28 weeks pregnant. In order to be a great philanthropist and a filial son, Soo Jie secretly transferred my 150,000 yuan in savings to his brother to pay off gambling debts. Later, he also used my credit card for 50,000 yuan. It wasn't until I went to pay for my prenatal checkup that I discovered the money had vanished. I called him, but he didn't answer. I sent messages, but he didn't reply. I was so anxious that I was running around in circles, and in a moment of intense stress, I fainted while going to the bathroom. By the time the cleaner found me, there was already a pool of blood on the floor, and my two babies had left me due to the delayed rescue. My heart is throbbing with pain. My daughter couldn't bear to see her father at a disadvantage, so she poked her head out, her face full of disappointment and stubbornness, and turned the spearhead toward me. Mom, what has the innocent child done wrong? My cousin was just born into the wrong family. What fault is that? Wouldn't it be better for us to be kind and generous? Besides, in the future, what's yours will be mine, right? I'm willing to help my cousin. Can't you lend him a hand for my sake? Because I have lost before. I cherish what I have. I have always been reluctant to let my daughter suffer in any way, unwilling to see her endure hardship, unwilling to let her go through pain, unwilling to disappoint her. I try my best to fulfill any request she makes, because she is my only child. And she means more to me than my own life. While maternal love is unconditional, it also requires occasional responses and should not be taken for granted. How can she take it for granted? How can she expect me to be as saintly as she is, to repay her kindness with kindness when she repays grievances with virtue? How can she be so indifferent to whether I am tired, hurt, or in pain? Why should I be expected to use my hard-earned money to support Soo Jie's parents, brother, and sister-in-law? Perhaps it's because of all the disappointments accumulated over the years, the scars that healed only to hurt again, and the pain that returned after healing, that I suddenly felt a sense of indifference. No way, I won't stop any of you from helping if you want to, but don't expect me to lift a finger. You should be grateful I'm not chasing them every day to return the 350,000 yuan they borrowed. My husband's face turned ashen. Seeing that I wouldn't budge, my daughter walked over to the sofa, spread her hands, and slumped down on it, threatening coldly, if you want me to do my homework, you have to transfer 50,000 yuan to my uncle right away and bring my grandparents and uncle's family to live with us. Otherwise, don't even think about me writing a single word. It's up to you. This kind of drama has played out countless times in my home over the past year, and suddenly, I'm tired of it, sick of it. My husband, like an outsider, sat quietly on the sofa, watching the show. I shrugged and sneered. Do it or don't, I don't care. Too. My husband immediately put away his teasing expression and started playing the good cop. Honey, our daughter is kind-hearted and well-intentioned. If she can treat her cousin this way now, she'll definitely treat us well in the future. Why don't you just meet her request? What if she really doesn't do her homework and ruins her future? Hearing her unreliable dad say this, my daughter glanced at me out of the corner of her eye, then calmly picked up her phone to play as if she was certain I would give in. In the past, I would have given in, but all that compromise ever brought me was more of the same. My brother and sister-in-law would borrow money every few days, never paying it back, and if they couldn't get a loan, they'd point fingers and curse at me. They lived in my house for 7 years, never spending a single cent on food, drink, or daily expenses. Even their child's medical bills and school fees had to be paid by me. Even so, I still ended up being criticized by my husband and daughter, who said I wasn't kind enough, not generous enough, lacking in self-sacrifice and dedication, and that I was just as petty and calculating as a shrew from the streets. But who has ever cared about my difficulties, my life or death, to keep my position as director? I often got up at 5 in the morning to travel to other cities for factory inspections. And when I returned, I still had to work overtime late into the night, living in constant fear of making even the slightest mistake. During urgent projects, I had to get up and respond to messages from production even in the early hours of the morning, and several times I almost couldn't catch my breath. But what about him and his daughter? They eat my food, drink my drinks, live in my house, and instead of being grateful, they want to bring the whole family along to live off me, sucking my blood and eating my flesh, and then turn around and expect me to be grateful, thanking them for their bone-deep exploitation. Perhaps that sincere heart has been roasted on the fire for too long. I went from being fearful and anxious to suffering intensely, and now I have become numb and indifferent. With a heart as still as water, I looked at the father and daughter quietly and said, word by word, Su Jia, let's get a divorce, the child will go with you. My daughter stared at me in disbelief, perhaps not expecting me to bring up divorce or give up her custody. She quickly put down the phone in her hand, trying to regain some ground. Don't regret it, the tactic of retreating to advance won't work on me. I will always love Dad the most. A vicious woman like you doesn't deserve to be my mother. Well, I'm not worthy. You should find someone who deserves you to be your mother. My expression was indifferent. She chose this path. I just hope she doesn't regret it. My daughter's face paled slightly, her lips pressed together, still carrying a hint of grievance. I lowered my head and remained silent. Su Jia walked over to me with gentle eyes and softly advised, honey, don't say such discouraging words. Ning Ning is your only daughter. How could you divorce and abandon her? Don't say things like that anymore. It's very hurtful. I'm serious. Let's get a divorce. The child stays with you. I stared straight into Su Jia's eyes and repeated my words. My daughter's face instantly turned pale, her body stiffened immediately, and tears welled up in her eyes, as if she hadn't expected me to truly give up on her. Su Jia pondered for a moment, chose to ignore his daughter's crying, turned to me with a slight smile, and said, divorce is fine, but you leave with nothing. Impossible. The property that belongs to me must remain mine. After crying for a while, seeing that no one paid her any attention, my daughter stood angrily by her father's side and began to confidently help him accuse me. Mom, have you had enough? Can't you see Dad lost his job? His hair is falling out in clumps, and he's already going bald in such a short time. Grandpa and Grandma are almost worn out from the cost of our cousin's rehabilitation treatment. Now longan is only 50 cents a pound. They get up at 2 in the morning every day to pick them and don't go back until 7 or 8 in the evening. They work so hard all day but earn less than 200 yuan, and you spend 400 or 500 on snacks without a second thought. 3. Doesn't your conscience ache? Can't you show a little sympathy and save some from your own expenses to help our cousin with his treatment? We're all family. What's wrong with helping each other? Do you really have to draw such a clear line? I glanced at Su Anning, thinking she was so sanctimonious and foolish. At 11 years old, she was being used as a pawn without even realizing it, yet she was still smug about it. How did I give birth to this thing? Ugh, I'm so disgusted. Well, I'm just selfish and cold-hearted. And I like to keep things clear and distinct. You're kind, you're magnanimous. Please use your light to illuminate others, and don't come here to morally blackmail me. A flicker of understanding crossed Su Jia's face, followed by a mocking tone. Divorce it is. Then, the child stays with me. Don't come crying and begging me later. You, a hen that can't lay eggs. Who else would marry you after leaving me? You've gotten too used to the good life, haven't you? Looking for hardship where there is none. Using the child to threaten me again. The reason I had a premature birth that left me infertile for life, and why I only have Su Anning as my one and only daughter, is all because of them. What right does Su Jia have to call me a hen that can't lay eggs? Besides, a piece of black-hearted cotton like that is better off not existing at all. Right, your whole family is so kind. When I was pregnant with Su Anning, you pulled the same old trick and transferred all my savings to your brother for gambling, leaving me without even the money for prenatal checkups. After it happened, your whole family insulted me, pushed and shoved me, causing me to fall to the ground, lose consciousness, and bleed for hours without being taken to the hospital. Su Jie's face turned ashen. It wasn't like we did it on purpose, and we already apologized, didn't we? Do you have to bring it up over and over again? You're just an ungrateful wretch. No matter how well others treat you, you never appreciate it. All you do is harp on other people's little mistakes again and again. It's true that the shameless are invincible. Illegally transferring assets and nearly causing a double death and lifelong infertility are called minor mistakes. Unheard of indeed. Black-hearted Cotton saw his father gaining the upper hand and was beaming with pride. Honestly, I don't know what she has to be proud of. Becoming a child without a mother's love in an instant. Is that something worth boasting about? I don't get it. Su Jie glared at me with disgust. Sometimes I feel nothing for you, you know, you always think only of your own interests, never willing to give an inch. The world is truly full of wonders, I sneered coldly. If you have no feelings, then get a divorce. Aren't you kind, great, and magnanimous? Then you can leave with nothing. After all, you didn't earn much of this family's assets anyway. Su Jie was furious. Tongya, has your heart been eaten by a dog? You want to dump the child on me and make me leave with nothing? I replied matter-of-factly. Well, aren't you noble and selfless? I'm afraid that money and such worldly possessions might taint your noble eyes, so I'll reluctantly take them. No way, you take the child, and you leave with nothing. Su Anning never expected that we were really getting a divorce. Her vicious biological mother, whom she looked down upon, didn't want her, and her high-minded, kind-hearted biological father, who loved her like his own life, also turned his back on her and didn't want her. We were all fighting for the money. Before she could even hide her smug expression, tears welled up in her eyes in a panic. In the end, she walked over to Su Jie's side and gently tugged at his sleeve. Su Jie was busy thinking about how to negotiate with me to get more money. Completely unaware of Su Anning's emotions, he even irritably brushed her hand away. At that moment, I still felt a pang of heartache. After all, she was the daughter I had cherished since she was little, but as soon as I thought of all the past events, my heart hardened again. Su Anning said she's willing to go with you, and there's nothing I can do about it. I shrugged, putting on a helpless expression. Su Anning cried, though I couldn't tell if it was out of grievance or because her father had hurt her. Su Jie impatiently pushed his daughter away, grumbling, cry, 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 that's all you know how to do, so useless. Then, with a livid face, he returned to his room. Su Anning looked at me, then at the closed bedroom door, and finally broke down, crying and shouting at me, "Are you satisfied now?" I ignored her, took the open durian to the study, and asked a lawyer to help draft a divorce agreement, for, at noon, when I came out of the study, the father and daughter had already reconciled as if nothing had happened, and it seemed they had even reached some kind of agreement. Of course, Su Anning didn't do her summer homework, nor did she eat the things I bought. The father and daughter were eating takeout at the dining table. How childish. If she doesn't eat, she doesn't eat. That just means more for me. What's the big deal? I took the seafood out of the fridge and cooked a lavish lunch. The two of them were so overwhelmed by the aroma that they fled and hid in the bedroom. After the lunch break, the lawyer sent over the divorce agreement. I carefully checked and found no issues before sending it to Su Jie. He stayed holed up in his room without coming out or responding. At dinner time, the father and daughter finally emerged. However, both of them seemed to be in a rather off mood, lying on the sofa. I looked up and said, "Su Jie, I've sent you the divorce agreement. Please take a look when you have time. If there are no issues, we'll go to the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow to finalize the divorce." Su Jie pretended not to hear. Seriously, is he already going deaf? I quickly got up from the sofa, stopped him, and repeated myself. He gritted his teeth and said, "Tongya, you're ruthless. For a little money, you'd make your daughter a child from a single-parent family." "I've never seen such a snobbish and selfish mother," I retorted mercilessly. "Yes, I'm ruthless, snobbish, and selfish, and what about you? At least I gave birth to her and provided for her without worry until she was 11. What have you given her all these years? All you do is teach her to be a saint while sucking my hard-earned money to support your parents, brother, and sister-in-law." Su Jie's face turned pale with anger, unable to utter a word. My daughter couldn't hold back her tears, her tone tinged with pleading. "Mom, can you not get a divorce? If you just agree to give Uncle 50,000 yuan and let them live with Grandma and Grandpa at home, I promise I'll never cause trouble again and will be obedient from now on. A rotten apple is a rotten apple. There's no redeeming it." Even at a time like this, she still tries to use herself to threaten me into supporting her father's whole family. Truly her father's daughter. the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, no. The path you chose is your own, and you must walk it even if you cry. Since you've chosen your father, you can live with him. I'll provide your child support on time until you turn 18. Seeing that her goal was not achieved, the daughter wanted to change her strategy, acting coquettishly and pleading for mercy. However, as soon as her biological father heard the word alimony, it was as if he had caught some leverage. Without giving Sue Anning a chance to regain her composure, he directly pushed her behind him. Then, he said viciously, "Tongya, don't you regret this? All right, see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow. Whoever doesn't show up is a coward." Soo Jia took his daughter and left. I continued to enjoy my durian seafood feast. The father and daughter didn't return until after 10 p.m., and they looked quite happy. Early the next morning, I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau, and Soo Jia arrived not long after. After taking a number, we declined mediation. Regarding property, we signed a prenuptial agreement before marriage and a marital property agreement, which was notarized. The car was purchased by me in full and belongs to me. For the house we currently live in, I contributed 70% of the funds, and Soo Jia contributed 30%. However, for the house built in his hometown, I contributed 200,000 yuan, plus an additional 350,000 yuan that was borrowed by his brother, sister-in-law, and parents. The debts are offset. The house in the city goes to me, and the house in our hometown goes to him. Child custody also goes to him, and I will bear 50% of the child support based on her actual expenses. Since the divorce attitude is firm and there is no possibility of reconciliation, the staff asked us to come back in 30 days to collect the divorce certificate. I didn't expect Soo Jia to be so cooperative, and it went so smoothly that I would laugh in my dreams. After leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, Soo Jia sneered and glanced at me. "You've grown quite capable. The tactic of retreating to advance 1tt work on me." I smiled. "Remember to move out of my house as soon as possible. Come back in 30 days to pick up the divorce certificate." Soo Jia wore an expression that said, I get it, as if I were about to throw myself at him the next second, then burst into tears, kneel down, beg for forgiveness, and withdraw the divorce application. He was really overthinking it. I've wanted a divorce for a long time. If it weren't for our daughter, I would have dumped him long ago. I turned around, got in the car, and drove away. But thinking of my daughter, my heart still aches uncontrollably. Perhaps, in the end, our mother-daughter bond was just too shallow. Before she turned 3, she was very attached to me. She would share any delicious food with me first, let me kiss, hug, and lift her up, and say, "I love you," in her sweet, childish voice. Later, my ex-husband's brother and sister-in-law moved into my home under the pretense of treating their premature child, and the grandparents followed suit. Soo Jia's brother and his ex-wife have a daughter named Yao Mei, who is 2 years older than my daughter and gets along very well with her. However, she is unloved by both her father and mother. Whenever Soo Jia's brother and sister-in-law are the slightest bit displeased, they beat and scold the child, refuse to let her go to school, and even withhold food from her. The child's grandparents silently wipe away their tears each time, but they never speak up. Perhaps it's an overflow of sympathy that makes me unable to bear seeing the child suffer. Seeing how well she treats my child, I also started being kind to Yao Mei. When buying clothes for my daughter, I would also buy a set for her. When I saw her parents physically punishing her and not giving her food, I would save meals for her, and even point out her parents' mistakes, standing up for her several times. Later, when it was time for her to start elementary school, her biological father and stepmother refused to let her go, fearing that their premature, brain-damaged son would have no one to care for him if she went to school. In the end, I made a scene in the community and called the police. Only then did they agree to let Yao Mei go to school. But I had to cover all the expenses for her education. Perhaps because of this, it gave Soo Jia's parents, brother, and sister-in-law an opportunity to take advantage. They started down the path of playing the victim, always holding that premature, brain-damaged child in front of me, sighing and lamenting, "Oh, what are we going to do with Chi-Chi? The treatment costs are so expensive. We really can't afford it anymore. But we can't bear to give up. Child, it's your parents who are useless. We're so sorry." Then they would start crying, and as they cried, they would look at me as if grasping at a lifeline. "Sister-in-law, I know you're capable and have the means. Could you lend us some money? We'll pay you back as soon as we have it. Please, for the sake of being the child's aunt, help us." At first, I would also feel soft-hearted, even though I really didn't like them. They were indirectly responsible for me losing my twins and being left infertile for life. But the child is innocent, so the first time, under the persistent persuasion of Su Jie's brother and sister-in-law, and Su Jie's parents, I eventually lent the money, but once it started, it kept happening. They began borrowing money from me every now and then, and started brainwashing my daughter to be a kind person, to be a saint. If I didn't lend them money, they would hit Yao Mei, scold Yao Mei, refuse to feed Yao Mei, and not let Yao Mei go to school. When I reported it to the police, they said I was meddling in other people's business, and in the end, nothing came of it. The daughter was so upset that she stomped her feet repeatedly, begging me several times to save her sister, saying how pitiful she was. I could only compromise again and again. It wasn't until last year, when Yao Mei finally started middle school, that I managed, with great difficulty, to drive Su Jie's parents, brother, sister-in-law, and nephew back to the countryside. Shortly after, my husband was laid off and became unemployed, staying at home and doing nothing. He even turned our daughter into a Mother Teresa, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't change her back. I have repeatedly analyzed the pros and cons for her, breaking things down in detail, but not only did she refuse to listen, she also told her father, her grandparents, and even her uncle and aunt about the whole situation, letting the whole family come to criticize me. This time, I am truly exhausted. Perhaps everyone has their own fate. Teaching someone with words is useless 100 times over. Teaching someone through experience leaves a lasting impression. In just one instance, after work in the evening, I bought a box of crayfish. Before I even opened the door, I could hear my ex-husband and daughter laughing and playing. When my daughter saw me carrying the crayfish toward the dining room, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. My ex-husband sneered, "How heartless. The divorce cooling-off period isn't even over yet, and you've already stopped caring for the child. All you think about is eating, drinking, and having fun. How can you call yourself a mother?" I washed my hands at the sideboard and didn't invite them to eat. Instead, I calmly opened the packaging while saying, "Well, as long as you're the good father, I'm sure our daughter, with such a selfless dad like you, must be eating well and living comfortably every day. I'm at ease." I picked up the largest crayfish, peeled it, put it in my mouth, and chewed. It was delicious. The daughter cried, not sure if it was out of craving or grievance. The ex-husband got angry. "How can you be a mother? Our daughter eats instant noodles that cost 2.5 yuan a pack, while you eat crayfish that costs 168 yuan a serving. Don't you feel ashamed?" I didn't even look up. "No, I don't feel ashamed. You haven't raised our daughter for even half a day since she was born." Someone who only talks big all the time doesn't feel ashamed, so why should I, who has raised her for 11 years, feel ashamed? You venomous woman, twisting the truth. I just gave some money to my parents and my brother and his wife. Is it necessary to slander me for not raising the child? Yes, I'm the toxic one. You're not. You give 21,000 to your parents and your brother and sister-in-law out of your 20,000 monthly salary. Then you spend all day blaming me for spending all your money, causing you to be in the red, and making your daughter go hungry. Su Jie's face turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. He grabbed his daughter and went back to the bedroom, followed by the sound of clattering and banging. Around 8 o'clock, my ex-husband and my daughter came out pushing their suitcases. It was only then that my daughter truly felt the reality of our divorce. Her eyes were red, as if waiting for me to ask her to stay. I lay on the sofa, glanced up at them, and then continued scrolling through TikTok. Seeing that I remained motionless for a long time, my daughter spoke with a tearful voice, "Mom, do you really not want me and Dad anymore? Are we really so wicked that you would abandon us without hesitation?" Another veiled accusation. I didn't even look up. "Well, your dad and you are both great people with lofty aspirations and noble virtues. You share the same ideals. As for me, I have low moral character, am greedy for profit, and am clearly not cut from the same cloth as you. Since our paths differ, we cannot work together. Want to burn me to light up your noble path? Not a chance." Seeing my sarcastic tone and insinuations, my daughter grew a bit anxious, but she still refused to forgive me. "Mom, the countryside is so poor, and education is so backward. How could you bear it? I'm your only daughter." After saying this, her expression relaxed a little. In the past, I had always fallen for this tactic of hers. It had never failed before. As for now, of course, I do whatever makes me happy. I put down my phone, sat up straight, and began spouting nonsense with a serious face. The countryside is a field of hope, with vast opportunities and great potential. I believe that both of you, father and daughter, can carve out a bright future there and achieve your great ambitions. My daughter looked listless and spoke in a low voice, "But Mom, I don't like the countryside, I know, but you love Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, and Uncle's family. Living together with them will surely bring you happiness and joy." Seeing me so stubborn and unwilling to keep them, Su Jia grew anxious. "Tongya, that's your own daughter. If we leave, we might not come back. Think it over carefully. Got it? Hurry up and go. You're really nagging, blocking my view of the TV." Su Jia glanced at the TV, which wasn't even turned on, and unable to save face, resentfully pushed the suitcase out the door. My daughter stood there, once again asking with hurt in her voice, "Mom, do you really not want me anymore?" Go ahead, the labor reform for a happy life awaits you. May you achieve great success in the fields of hope and return early after serving your sentence." The daughter could no longer hold back and burst into loud sobs. Su Jia turned back impatiently. "Su Anning, are you coming or not? Your mother doesn't even want you anymore, so why are you crying?" The daughter was dragged away by Su Jia, and the living room fell silent again. 6. Life went on peacefully like this, and my daughter never contacted me during that time until Sunday when she called me, ringing for 3 seconds before hanging up immediately. I didn't call back, nor did I send her a message. In the afternoon, she called me again, hanging up after just a few rings as before. She probably wanted to soften up and get me to beg her to return to school in the city. In the past, I was always anxious about her studies, constantly worried that her grades wouldn't be good enough to get into high school, that she'd be streamed off early and suffer the hardships of life. Now, if she's willing to endure hardship, then let her endure it. She's not a child anymore. The path she chose, she must walk it through, even if she has to crawl, without an apology or an admission of guilt. I won't let her come back, and remarrying her father is even more impossible. Another weekend soon passed, and Yao Mei sent me a video. Su Jia's brother and sister-in-law's child with cerebral palsy had fallen, scraping a large patch of skin off his knee, and was lying on the ground crying his heart out. Grandma was heartbroken to see her beloved grandson injured. Without asking for an explanation, she immediately slapped Su Anning twice, cursing non-stop, "You worthless thing, you jinx, how dare you bully your brother? Are you tired of living? You're just as vicious and jealous as your mother. Why don't you just die?" Before Su Anning could defend herself, she was slapped twice more, her face instantly swelling and turning red. She cried and explained, "Grandma, I didn't do it, he fell by himself." Grandma couldn't stand anyone defying her. "You say you didn't, so you didn't. If you didn't push him, how could he have fallen for no reason? You little liar, just like your mother, never learning anything good, only picking up the bad." Then she gave another kick. Grandpa heard the commotion and came over, whipping her calves with a small branch. Meanwhile, her father, who claimed to love her more than anyone in the world, was in his room playing video games, completely ignoring the noise outside. The uncle and aunt who once taught her to be kind and generous not only stood by and watched coldly, but also frequently complained that she didn't take good care of their son. I silently turned off the video. It pains me to see her suffer, but this life is the one she chose. The day for us to get our divorce certificate soon arrived, and I waited early at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Su Jia arrived not long after, and unexpectedly, he brought Su Anning along. Su Anning had grown darker and thinner, and she seemed much quieter. Gone was her former feistiness. She obediently called out, "Mom." I nodded. It seemed as if she was trying to muster her courage. Seeing me turn to leave, she immediately came over and grabbed my hand. "Mom, can you not get a divorce? I don't want you and Dad to separate. I don't want to be a child without a mother. Can we go back to how things were before?" I gently pushed her hand away. I knew she missed the old days, when I loved her wholeheartedly, endured everything for her, and spent money on her without a second thought. Her father, grandparents, and uncle's family, in order to get money from me, also constantly flattered and indulged her, making her happy and content. But now I am no longer willing. Money is truly hard to earn, and for this money, I have lived a life worse than that of pigs and dogs. So I can only let her bear the hardship. I gently pushed her hand away. "No. It's too painful and agonizing to live with your father's family. Divorce is a firm choice for Mom." The daughter lowered her head and sobbed, "Even for my sake, is it still not possible?" "No," I refused once again, seeing that his daughter's eyes were swollen from crying, and I remained unmoved. Su Jia said resentfully, "Tongya, you're truly heartless." Then, he stormed inside in a rage. I thought he would make a fuss, but I didn't expect it to go so smoothly. 7. I quickly got the divorce certificate, and Su Jia gritted his teeth and said, "Remember to pay child support, don't make me remind you." I ignored him, got in the car, and drove away. Here's to my new life. Little did I know that just a week later, Su Jia would start causing trouble. That day, I suddenly received a hospital bill from Su Jia, amounting to a full 160,000 yuan. He asked me to split it evenly, 80,000 each. I was extremely anxious, although Su Anning and I had grown distant. She was still my daughter after all. If she was sick, I had a responsibility to contribute to her treatment. I tried video calling Su Anning, but she didn't answer. When I video called Su Jia, he immediately rejected the call and later sent a message: "If you want to see your daughter, pay up first, otherwise, there's nothing to discuss." When you care too much, you realize too late that something is off. I found the hospital's phone number based on the name on the payment slip, called them, and confirmed multiple times that there was no patient named Su Anning. They even warned me not to fall for scams. I knew it. How could Su Jia agree to a divorce so easily? He was just waiting for me here. As long as my daughter is fine. I didn't send Su Jia any money, nor did I message him to expose his lies. By evening, Su Jia finally couldn't wait any longer and started bombarding with messages. "Tongya, are you even human? Our daughter is sick, and you're not lifting a finger. Do you want her to die from this illness? I've never seen a biological mother more vicious than a stepmother. It's one thing to divorce and not take the child, leaving me with nothing, but now that the child is sick, you want to ignore it too. Ningning must have had the worst luck in 8 lifetimes to end up with a mother like you. Even a vicious tiger doesn't harm its own cubs, but you're worse than an animal. Hurry up and send the money, or I'll bring Su Anning straight home and let her die from the illness there." I pretended not to hear, put down my phone, and went to take a shower. After showering, I saw a message from Yao Mei: "Auntie, my sister isn't sick. The payment slip is fake." I was about to exit WeChat when I saw Su Jia calling me on video. I meant to decline but accidentally hit accept. My eyes were met with a vast expanse of white, and my daughter was still wearing an oxygen mask. It's just that the 1.8-meter bed looks incredibly fake, and the French-style dressing table by the bed clearly belongs to a daughter's room. Su Jia gritted his teeth and said, "Look at your daughter's dying state. Hurry up and send the money. If anything happens to her, you'll regret it." I sneered and said sarcastically, "Programmers are truly impressive. Even telecom scammers would steer clear of you." I'm impressed. Using his daughter's life as a curse to scam money. This father is truly something else. After being exposed, Su Jia showed no embarrassment, only frustration. "Tongya, I'm giving you a way out. Don't be ungrateful. If you know what's good for you, transfer the money quickly. My brother's child needs rehabilitation treatment." I couldn't be bothered to listen to her nonsense and was about to hang up when I heard my daughter's choked sob. "Mom, I miss you. Can you and Dad make up? I don't want to be laughed at for not having a mom. I didn't mean to lie to you just now. I just missed you so much. You never answer my video calls." "So Dad and I came up with this idea. Mom, please forgive me this time. I promise I'll never do it again." Genetics really are powerful. She's just like her father, never taking responsibility when something goes wrong, always shifting the blame first. She only video called me twice, once ringing for 3 seconds and once for 5 seconds, then hung up. She still wants me to coax her and her father to come back, then sell my blood to support her uncle's family. My voice couldn't help but turn cold. "Yeah, I don't need you to worry about me, because I'm afraid of being worried about by a child who lies all the time. Since you've chosen your dad, just live well with him." My daughter lowered her head, pinching the index finger of her right hand with her left hand, silently shedding tears. 8. I hung up the video call. Just a moment later, Yao Mei sent me a video. As soon as I opened it, I heard a piercing, angry shout. "Why don't you just die, you bastard? Can't even get a little money. You're completely useless. What's the point of living?" Su Jia's mother was cursing Su Anning while hitting her with the sole of her shoe. She screamed in terror, crying with heart-wrenching sobs. Su Jia sat lazily on the sofa, turning a blind eye as if it wasn't his daughter being beaten. The daughter began to plead for mercy. "Grandma, I was wrong. I was really wrong. Please, stop hitting me. I'll find a way to treat my brother's illness." Su Jia's mother still refused to stop, her words growing even more venomous. "You, a thing born with a mother but raised without one, you deserve to be run over outside or tricked into the mountains to be someone else's wife. What are you crying for? You're crying away all your brother's good fortune. If I can't get any more money from your mother, you'll have a hard time starting tomorrow. Su Jie shifted his buttocks, looking annoyed. Mom, that's enough. If you keep hitting, someone might die. Su Jie's mother angrily threw the shoe away and cursed, useless thing. What's the use of reading so many books? It all went to the dogs. You can't even handle a woman. The daughter ran to her father's side, crying. I still didn't care and exited WeChat, ready to go to sleep. Early in the morning, I saw that Yao Mei had sent me several videos. One was from 2 a.m., where Su Jie's mother kicked open her daughter's door, turned on the light with a snap, and lifted her daughter up like a chick. The daughter was still in a daze when she was slapped twice in the face. Her grandmother was still cursing. Do you really think you're some city lady? Look at the time. Get up and start working right now. If you don't finish, you won't get any food. The daughter was in so much pain that tears streamed down her face. She reached out to grab the smartwatch nearby, but her grandmother snatched it away and slapped her again. A worthless girl like you doesn't deserve something this nice. Then she spat in disgust. The daughter's face was filled with fear and helplessness. Tears poured down in streams as she wanted to snatch back the smartwatch but didn't dare, shrinking helplessly into the corner of the bed, bowing her head and sobbing softly. That was bought for me by my mom. Su Jie's mother grew even angrier, yanking the person out from the corner of the bed and throwing them hard onto the floor, raising her hand to deliver a slap. Don't you dare mention your wicked mother to me. If you bring her up again, I'll make sure you don't live to see another day. The daughter trembled in fear, curling up on the floor. I clicked on the second video, which was from 5 o'clock, when the sky was still not fully bright. Only the figure of what seemed to be the daughter could be seen, staggering forward while carrying 2 large buckets of feces. Her grandmother walked alongside her like a supervisor, occasionally hitting and scolding her. The third video was from 7 o'clock. The daughter was sitting on a small stool in the kitchen eating breakfast, with only a little plain porridge in her bowl and no side dishes at all. Her father, along with her grandparents and uncle's family, sat at the large table, enjoying stir-fried noodles, vegetables, and pickled radish. The fourth video was from 7:30. The daughter's phone watch had ended up on the wrist of her beloved younger brother. After finishing, I put down my phone, washed up, went out, and bought breakfast and groceries for lunch. At noon, Yao Mei sent me another video. In the video, there was a large plate of chicken. My daughter wanted to pick up a chicken wing, but Su Jie's father immediately struck her hand with his chopsticks, his face twisted in anger. You, a worthless girl, think you deserve to eat meat. The meat is for the men in the family. Get out of here. Then he dragged his daughter off the dining table. Her grandmother, still seething, grabbed a bowl and stormed over, kicking her with a dark expression. You have no manners at all. How did your mother raise you? Just as selfish and vicious as her, always thinking only of yourself, never willing to take a single loss. Her daughter lowered her head, eating her tears mixed with rice. Her father remained as indifferent as ever, sitting at the dining table and eating his own meal as if it had nothing to do with him. For 2 weeks in a row, I hadn't received any videos from Yao Mei. She must have been staying at school and hadn't returned home. It happened to be a Wednesday. As soon as I opened VX, I saw a message from my daughter. She said, Mom, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I shouldn't have always made you angry before. From now on, I'll be obedient. Could you give me 10,000 yuan? Dad lost his job and has no money, so my dance and piano classes have been cancelled. Grandma and Grandpa are so worried and upset about my brother's illness that they often hit me. Don't give me food to eat, and make me get up in the middle of the night to work. It's even affecting my school attendance, and my grades have plummeted. Mom, please help me. After reading her message, I was so angry I almost fainted. It seems I still need to continue my labor re-education. I pity her misfortune but am angry at her lack of resolve. Even after all this, she still hasn't come to her senses. She still wants to use my money to support her father's entire family. Hoping to quell their anger and restore the happy life of the past. Is that even possible? I held back my anger and typed out a long paragraph, but in the end, I deleted it. Respect others' fate, and do not interfere in their karma. In the end, I replied to her, it's good that you know you were wrong. If you want to learn dance or piano, I can pay half, but no more than that. She sent another message pleading, Mom, please, help me. I can't stay at Dad's house anymore. If this continues, I'll die. I was afraid something might happen to her, so I immediately contacted someone who didn't get along with Su Jie's mother. I gave her a few thousand yuan to keep an eye on Su Anning, help handle any situations that might arise, and call the police or contact me immediately if anything seemed off. Still unable to bear it, I replied to my daughter, if you can't stay there, just come back. Mom will take you to change the custody arrangement. This was the escape route I offered her. But after that, my daughter never sent me another message. 2 days passed like this, and suddenly Su Jia sent me 2 receipts, one for piano lessons costing 29,863, 6 yuan, and another for dance lessons costing 36,593, 3 yuan, with exact amounts down to the decimal. This is really an eye-opener. Not only is this fee more expensive than in the city, it's even pricier than in first-tier cities. Do you really think I'm a sucker? How can you prove this fee is real? I texted. Su Jia immediately got anxious. What do you mean? Are you suspecting I'm lying to you? Do you even have a conscience? I've been working my fingers to the bone raising your daughter, and you still doubt me? I replied. Shouldn't I? Su Jia started not replying to messages. The next day, Su Jia sent me a video of my daughter practicing dance in the studio, wearing various outfits. He also sent a series of phone numbers, telling me to call and verify the truth myself. I didn't believe a single word he said. That evening, I added the dance studio staff on WeChat, sent them a photo of my daughter, and asked if Su Anning was taking classes there and what the price was for the previous semester. It turned out they directly replied that Su Anning wasn't taking classes there. It was just her father who brought her over for a trial session, and she even changed several outfits, taking many videos. In the end, they also mentioned that their fees really aren't high, just 300 per semester, and if I was genuinely interested, the price could still be negotiated. 10. Sure enough, I'm just a complete sucker, specifically targeted for being taken advantage of, right? I immediately forwarded the chat content from the dance studio to Su Jia, adding, if there's a next time, I'll call the police directly. The video call came through shortly after, but when I answered, it was my daughter on the screen. Her face bore several clear handprints, tears streamed down her cheeks, and she occasionally sniffled with a runny nose, her voice so choked with sobs she could barely speak. Mom, I was wrong, I shouldn't have lied to you. Dad, Grandma, and Grandpa have already taught me a lesson. I'll be obedient from now on. Please don't let the police take me away. Her pitiful state and her crying made my heart ache with a dull, heavy pain, and I wished I could drive over and bring her back immediately. But I can't, because she hasn't realized her own mistakes yet. Even after enduring all the hardships and suffering, she still expects me to slave away and sacrifice myself to secure a happy life for her and her father's family. But my abilities are limited, and I am selfish. After experiencing a few good days, I no longer want to return to that dark, hopeless, and painful life. Yet Su Anning still fantasizes that I will compromise for her sake, go back, and continue to be their blood bag. Just to maintain a facade of peace, my heart sank a little, and my expression turned cold. Oh, as long as you listen, that's fine. I hope what happened today won't happen again, or don't blame me for turning my back on you. The daughter hung up the phone. Shortly after, the neighbor I had asked to keep an eye on Su Anning called me. She said Su Anning had been beaten and was screaming terribly, fearing something serious might happen. She had called the police, but when the police arrived, the daughter helped give false testimony, saying nothing was wrong, that she had made a mistake and her father was just disciplining her, and that the neighbor had called the police out of a grudge against their family. The neighbor was almost in tears, saying she had never seen such an ungrateful person, and in the end, she advised me to give up, saying this child was beyond saving, but I am her biological mother, and she is my only child in this life. How could I just give up so easily? I could only beg her to keep an eye on her and offered to pay more. The aunt agreed to keep an eye on her but refused the extra money, though she never wanted to speak to my daughter again, fearing it would shorten her own life. The weather is starting to turn cool, and maple leaves are beginning to drift away with the wind. My daughter hasn't sent me a message in a long time, and the weather is getting colder and colder. People have started wearing winter clothes. That night, Yao Mei sent me a video in the middle of the night. In the dead of winter, in the middle of the night, my daughter was in the yard scraping cassava. Her hair was messy, her face was chapped, her lips were pale and peeling, and she was wearing a dirty, thin coat. Her hands were dark, a bit swollen, and oozing blood. The moonlight stretched her cool silhouette long and thin, the wooden scraper quickly turning over the cassava, stripping the skin off in just a few strokes. Actually, I don't know what Su Anning is really holding on to. Her father, her grandparents, they've all treated her like this, so why is she still jumping into the fire? I pity her misfortune, but I'm angry at her lack of fight. I told Yao Mei that if possible, she should bring her a thick coat and some food. Just don't let her kill herself. the end of the year is here, and I'm swamped with preparing various reports and work summaries. So busy I can barely keep my feet on the ground. Just after finishing overtime work that day, I received a message from my daughter. Mom, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I shouldn't have emotionally blackmailed you into supporting Uncle's family. I shouldn't have conspired with Dad to trick you out of money, and I shouldn't have threatened to harm myself to pressure you into lending money to Uncle. I'm truly sorry. It was my foolish self-righteousness that made you compromise step by step, burdening you with all kinds of blame. I even maliciously joined them in criticizing you. I'm not human, and I don't deserve to be your daughter, I cried. No one knows how long I've been looking forward to this day. No one knows how afraid I was that she would remain stuck in the mud, unwilling to come out. She is my only child. How could I not love her? I sent her a message. Mom accepts your apology. Come back. Mom will always love you. 11. After that, my daughter didn't send me any messages for over half a month, nor did she come back. I asked the neighbor's aunt, and she said nothing much was going on, just that Sue Anning had been particularly rebellious lately, often causing a lot of trouble at her dad's house. It's the new year, and it's raining outside. This is the first time I've spent the new year alone since getting married. There's no arguing and no endless chores, just a bit of quiet, but I'm quite happy. It's been a long time since I've had such leisure. I can watch my favorite shows, scroll through TikTok, and chat with friends about gossip. It's really enjoyable. At noon on the second day of the Lunar New Year, Yao Mei sent me a video. In the video, Sue Anning flipped the table and shouted, "Since I, the one who worked so hard to cook, am not even worthy of sitting at the table to eat, then none of you should eat either." The food was scattered all over the floor, and the guests all stood aside watching the drama unfold. Su Jie's mother, with a dark expression on her face, cursed my daughter with the most vicious words. "You wretched girl, are you a starving ghost reincarnated? Would you die if you ate a little less? Are you happy now that no one gets to eat? You're as malicious as your mother. We should have drowned you in a chamber pot back then. Come here, I'm going to beat you to death today." With that, he reached out to strike Sue Anning. Sue Anning rushed into the kitchen, grabbed a large knife, and swung it recklessly. "Come on, hit me. Didn't you want to kill me when I was a child? I was just lucky to survive. You pushed my mother down and made her bleed for hours, and I still didn't die. Now I'm back just to bring you bad luck." 12. Stop pretending to be all high and mighty. You're nothing but a bunch of hypocritical beasts. Su Jie's mother's chest heaved continuously. Su Jie glared coldly. "Sue Anning, shut up, that's your grandmother." The daughter sneered mockingly. "Pa, I don't have such a vicious grandmother. What do you think you are? A weak, incompetent, and malicious freeloader? What right do you have to lecture me? You haven't worked for a whole year, only knowing how to curse my mother as selfish and vicious. Forcing her to work like a slave to support your entire family. You even taught me to be a saint, bully my mother, and swindle her money. If I don't obey, I'm labeled as unfilial, selfish, and vicious. If things don't go your way, you refuse to let me eat, force me to work in the middle of the night, and even plan to sell me into the mountains to get money for a second wife. Are you even fit to be called my father?" Exposed in front of everyone. Su Jie's face turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. He shouted angrily, "Sue Anning, if you dare spout nonsense again, I'll skin you alive." His daughter looked completely unfazed. "Go ahead, try it, see if your hands are faster or my knife is sharper. What happened to being the great philanthropist? Are you so desperate for money that you can't keep up the act anymore?" Every word struck right at the heart. Seeing this, relatives rushed to the courtyard to watch the drama unfold. Su Jie's brother now pretended to be the good guy, saying, "Ningning, put the knife down and don't act impulsively. Your dad is just too worried about you," and spoke without thinking. "Let's talk things over calmly." The daughter wasn't buying any of it now. "Stop pretending to be the good guy. You're the most disgusting person in this whole family. You don't work all year round, living like trash, and you keep beating Sister Yao Mei, making my mom feel sorry for her and sympathize with her. Just so she'll lend you money for food, drinks, and fun. You know what? Your brain-damaged, mentally disabled son is your karma." The daughter deliberately targeted their sore spots, airing all the family's dirty laundry in public. As more and more onlookers gathered, Su Jie and his parents tried several times to hit their daughter but were stopped by others, and so, the daughter ran away. When I drove to the town, my daughter was wandering aimlessly. The moment she saw me, she burst into tears, repeatedly saying she was sorry. We, mother and daughter, held each other and cried. My daughter had finally come back. Later, with the videos sent to me by my neighbor and Yao Mei, I took my daughter to court to sue for a change in custody. At my daughter's strong request, she was eventually placed in my custody, with Su Jia paying 50% of her expenses each month. After hearing the two stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.